Grand Thursday. This is due a divine needle, and it is the 8th of April, Thursday, Jupiter Day. Oh, the new moon is coming up in Aries on the 11th. That's an important number. Right now, the sun is in Aries too. The, of course, Uranus and Chiron are in lockstep, as they have been for a while now. And, oh, yeah. And Saturn at 11 degrees in the 11th house. It's interesting to watch how this energy plays out here on the holodeck, right? As above, so below. As within, so without. So anyway, the Sabian mysteries, sorry. My mouth won't work this morning. Here we go. Sabian mystery for today. If it will focus. There we go. Get up in there. Young girl feeding birds in the winter. And there's the picture. And it's the girl that was on that carpet. The magic carpet ride, right? Yeah. For me, that symbolizes contact with the angelic, with the divine. Birds represent the angels. And to me, that represents contact. But the Sabian mysteries see it a whole nother way, which is brilliant because we can see this in multiple directions. So, but for me, I feel like your guides, angels, are going to be making contact. Mine did at 3 o'clock in the morning. Anyway, stay open to that, frequency. Make sure you keep that channel open. Anyway, a young girl feeding birds in winter. Seeing life as a constant opportunity to experience love. Life's very harshness is what enables us to learn of love's unfathomable depth. Nature is harsh. People and animals suffer and starve, and they die. Yet without harshness, compassion could not exist. There would be no place for it. There is no higher purpose than to live life as a constant expression of compassionate love. This is neither fanciful nor sentimental love. It is feeding the hungry stranger. In the act of giving, spiritual nourishment is felt as joy. Hospitality in the mystery of the mutuality of joy created by giving, where the subtle and the substantial are married together elegantly, with a delicate awareness of the importance of each of these two aspects of life. Our love for the beauty of nature, whose power is actually often cruel and life-threatening, is hard to balance with our quiet, normal fears of danger. Yet for some people, there is an inexplicable force of innocence that makes them quite comfortable with the challenge of finding the balance, and usually enables them to do so. Usually, the power and beauty of nature stimulates wonder within us. This is more easily accessible to the young-minded, receptive, innocent person. The childlike state that I keep talking about, living in that inner child. The qualities of youth and of the feminine are more perceptive to the experience of nature and seem to have a more profound attunement to its mystery. Now, I agree with that for the most part, but the males have a divine feminine side. So they can attune, as long as they're in tune with their divine feminine side, they can attune to nature as well and have that same experience. The girl does not rail against the cold. She does not wallow in useless feelings about hungry birds. She feeds them. It seems on a surface level that it is largely the birds that are receiving the benefits from this act of generosity, yet there is more to see. A truly significant benefit is accrued to the giver. An extraordinary power of self assurance is enhanced by such an act. As we give to the needy, we, the givers, experience nourishment. If the gift is of bread alone, with a zealous do good intention, then much is forfeited, especially if the deeper hidden intention is to win approval. This more masculine act serves quite a different purpose and has a bearing quality, rather like a foreign aid, whose purposes are political rather than caring. The physical item passed, bread or money, is surely seen merely as the symbolic objectification. It's morning, big words, of the actual deeper gift of love, power to sustain life and hope. Our spirituality shows in the sensitivity we bring to acts of charity. The love implied by the gift has power to sustain life and hope. Trusting in nature, in life itself, each day we see blessings all around us. Not only that, but they use the animals and the trees and the clouds to communicate. Keep that in mind, the angelics. Like I said, this picture means something more to me. As seasons change, so we flow. Passion and stillness exist. So each is in our way of being. We see how abundance is sustained by an interactive flow. So we open up to receive and become a conduit for hospitality and generosity. Because of its innocence and vulnerability, a baby is not without power. It strongly influences behaviors and outcomes. This is evidence of humanity's essential goodness. We are gentle with the vulnerable and kind to the needy. We need have no reason to be when we have no reason to be. That's the problem, though, these days. Compassion is sorely lacking. Yep, it's very lacking. By making, excuse me, by making themselves entirely at the mercy of others, like babies, the innocent attract kindness and thereby contribute receptively to the spirit of generosity. We need to surrender to life in order to open ourselves up to participate in such generosity, either as a receiver or a giver, and trust that our own needs will be met and that we have more than enough to share with those in need. That's the thing. Giving without expectation of receiving anything in return. That's another problem. Compassion and giving without expectation. Yep. Anyway, but for me, this is contact by the angelic. Birds do represent them. Definitely. Hey, hey, grand rising to you all, grand Thursday. Anyway, so compassion, giving without expectation, and contact with your angelic team. That's how I see that. Because it happened already for me. I have a feeling it's going to be. And yeah, Gabriel's quite the smart ass. And the contact we had last night, well, I was called a drama queen. And the statement was, "That kitten is a drama queen," and called me a kitten. Yeah. Anyway, and he called me a drama queen. Yeah, that happened. And then when he said to no, it was pretty funny too. I had to laugh because I knew what he was doing. He was trying to break some tension that was going on, and it worked. It worked. He he managed to yeah. Yep, he managed to break up some tension. Anyway, let's get into the reading. Now we have Sabian mysteries and thoughts. The energy of Thursday. It is a cloudy morning this morning, but I have a feeling the sun will come out. Oh, that's funny. What's crossing Aquarius? The sun card. Yeah, that was in a reading. And what the reader didn't understand was it had multiple meanings, including quite literally a sun. Yeah. Wow. Anyway, let's get on with the reading. Here we go. Wow. They're right out with it. Integration. They're back with talking about integration again. Okay. Integrating our masculine and feminine, the yin and the yang, and integration with those in divine partnership, being able to integrate our light and our dark sides with each other. That's happening. Yeah. Okay. For the collective, overall energy. Okay. The blind seer. Okay. Highest priority for the collective, Thursday. Highest priority for the collective on Thursday. That's why I'm having a late start today. 3 a.m. was, yeah, contact time. Highest priority for the collective. Okay. The champion. The card upside down. Empress. Nice. Whew. And what do we need to be mindful of and or prepare for? For the collective, please. What do they need to be mindful of and or prepare for? What do they need to be mindful of and or prepare for? For the collective, what do they need to be mindful of and or prepare for? It was funny because I just heard a siren. I hope that's not foretelling. We've had enough emergencies these days, have we not? What does the collective need to be mindful of and or prepare for? Justice. Hell yeah. Lady Justice. Underlying. Stronghold of the Zephyrs, Herald of the Consummating. That is the Page of Swords. Whoa, what a reading. Okay. So our underlying messenger of air. Sometimes this is somebody stalking you on the internet. Sometimes it's just internet in general. Gemini for me. Yeah, definitely Gemini. And then the journeyman dedication. That's funny. Here we go with the 2 8s again. Eight of Swords, Eight of Orbs. And the Hangman and the Chariot. Okay. That's interesting underlying. But we're going to stick with this right here. Stronghold of the Zephyrs. Herald of the Consummating. That's the Sword of Destiny, truth and clarity. And it's a messenger about truth and clarity. Having something to do. There's a topic down in there of big moves and, you know, the Chariot card and Hangman. So that's some underlying undercurrent that's going to be coming up to the surface. So I'm sure we're going to be seeing those cards in the next few days. So keep those in mind. But Stronghold of the Zephyrs, Herald of the Consummating. Let's take a look-see. As the book sees it. The Stronghold of the Zephyrs, or Page of Swords, comes bearing an important message to you, or an opportunity about your social status, community relations, a political or legal matter, higher education, greater social network that you are a part of or engaged with, or a matter pertaining closely to your pursuit of glory. The Page of Swords appears as affirmation of victory to come if you agree to take on the challenges and walk through the gauntlet. The presence of the Stronghold of the Zephyrs can also be an emissary sent by a deity of war, battles, or storms, a divinity of the skies, winds, or air, or a pantheon from the Eastern Hemisphere. So, it is incoming truth and clarity that you're going to get. And what's funny is we have both the blind seers on the table. Book, you know, basically bookending both sides. There's a reason for everything. Both the blind seers. Two of Swords. Torn about decisions, having to use your psychic mind to figure it out. And not seeing with your pair of eyes, but the third eye. The blind seer helps us navigate the stalemate between the ego and self. The twin swords or twin paths form the cross that you bear, a crossroads. You have yet to attain the realization you need to make an intelligent, reasoned decision. So take the time to look inward. Arrive at an inner peace and restore a sense of calm before you proceed any further. So a crossroads, a decision you have to make blindly. It's a head over heart decision. And it's funny because your hearts are weighed against a feather over here on the other end. All right, our highest priority. Key 3, Major Arcana, the Empress, abundance, creativity. For some, quite literally, pregnancy. The Empress appears to those who are on the verge of producing a work worthy of admiration. The magic of the Empress transforms your hopes into reality. A divinity of universal love is present in your life path, and the Empress appearing to you is the affirmation you need for acknowledging that presence. Gloria Mundi is the muse for poets, writers, artists, and musicians. The Empress also embodies the spirit of rhetoric. She wields the art of persuasion. And because of that, she is the champion. That is the Earth Goddess, by the way. Because of that, the champion, 6 of Scepters. It's funny because I was talking to another reader about the flow of music. Have you ever listened to a piece of music on YouTube and it's interrupted by a commercial? You ever had that happen? And it totally interrupts the flow of energy. Just screws it. Not even joking. Really screws it up for you, doesn't it? Well, to me, as a reader, these readings have that same flow of energy. And so ruining them with commercials won't happen on this channel. The Champion, 6 of Scepters. A really good card to have. Yep. And that's what it means. It's the victory card. It's kind of like it's the lesser of the Chariot. The Chariot has more significance behind it and a little different meaning, but they're both victory cards. So is the Ace of Swords. That's another victory card. But this one, quite literally, bottom line, victory. The Champion is the spirit of victory. When the 6 of Scepters appears, success will be yours. Yet here we were reminded there are 2 sides to victory. The Champion can bring wisdom, wealth, seed, life, dominance, peace, and grace, as noted in the 7 double letters corresponding with the 7 sacred 7 planetary rulers in the back wall archways. Likewise, the Champion can bring folly, poverty, desolation, death, subjugation, war, and ugliness. The imagery of the spirit here conveys the core of the message. To be the champion, one must be oblivious to pain. For there to be victory, there must be self-sacrifice. If you seek to defeat your opponents in competition or combat, then with the support of the champion, you will be victorious. Though with it comes personal sacrifice. Victory always necessitates personal sacrifice. To me, the sacrifice is the work involved in missions, basically. But for you all, it depends on what your creative endeavors and projects or uh, hobbies even are. Anyway, what to be mindful of, prepare for. Can't help but notice that's a key 11, a card. The Chancellor, Angel of Justice, key 11, Major Arcana. This spirit represents recertification measures that counter karmic consequences. It is the spirit guiding you toward balanced judgment and making clear decisions. This crossroads decision. Do not judge based on appearances. Choose balanced action, balanced words, and balanced thought. So this has to do with this. I have a feeling. Being at a crossroads on what you want to be victorious in. Your creative energies. When the Chancellor appears to you, it is a call to make the necessary adjustments so that you might restore balance. The Angel of Justice arrives when all considerations have been duly weighed and the resulting outcome of the choices you've made, your actions, and your speech has now been determined. Key 11 marks the point when the truth comes out. There's the truth coming from a page. The scales of your life are about to get tipped so that the balance can be maintained. Yep. Okay. So this energy can play out within a few days of this reading, or may have already happened for some of you. When the truth comes out, all this sword energy all over the reading. All right. Lots of error happening here. Which reminds me of the Sabian symbol, the girl on the magic carpet touching the bird. the contact. All right. Any messages going out for this Thursday adventure? Okay. Totality. That's making that bridge. Two people reaching out to each other. That's making the bridge. The making of the bridge. And off on our new adventures. Fool card. Childlike innocence. Remember, your hearts are being weighed against feathers. Staying in your childlike innocence and heading out for a good time. So, whatever this is, it feels serious in many because it's a crossroad. But in if you stay in this energy, you will complete this bridge, and make totality for sure. You will make. You'll reach. Your fingers will touch. Okay, so reach for it. Go for the gusto. Be your little inner child and have a good time. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this. Today is Thursday, so guess what? Yeah, it's going to be zodiac readings. We're taking care of fire and water today. Fire and water is on the charts. And then tomorrow will be air and earth. Okay. All right. So there you have it. Really good reading. Nothing wrong with that one at all. Anyway, if you would like to schedule any private readings or bookings, because we are open for live bookings now. So we've worked out the calendar and that is available now. Information's in the description box, and we are 100% supported by the viewers. So if anything resonates for friends or family, share this, okay? Anyway, have a good one. I'll be back later for fires up first. All right, take care.